Welcome to the program today. Mondo Gonzalez here in studio, but I have Aaron Lipkin all the way from Israel, and we are here simply just to talk about our upcoming trip to Israel, which is happening in March of 2023. I'll be there, and Dr. Larry Ollison and his wife will be there, along with Bob and Chrissy Ulrich will be there with us. And if you have not been to Israel, this is a great time to go. Right here at the front, visit IsraelToday.com is our website. You can go there, get all the information you need. Things are kind of pressing in the sense of trying to finalize the trip. And so if you've been on the fence, this is a great time to make that decision and jump in with us, because one of the things that we want to do today is we want to just highlight some of the places on the itinerary. And I just want to welcome you, Aaron.
Shalom, shalom from Israel. And we're really waiting anxiously for people to come and visit us here in Israel in the Holy Land and connect to the Bible.
You know, one of the things that I've been seeing in the news is, some people might be wondering about the nature of Israel because, there was the COVID issues and all the medical exams and the requirements of all are in the past. There's nothing to worry about there. But also I'm reading that tourism, people are coming. It's really starting to even not so much get to pre-COVID levels, but it's on its way.
Exactly. I mean, we're seeing this overflow of tourism to Israel in the past few months. And, I'm not just an archaeology nut and a drone photographer and many other things. I'm also a travel agent. And I'm telling you, it's really hard to find places, availability in hotels. The hotels are totally overbooked, but we have rooms reserved for the Prophecy Watchers tour. There are spaces left, so this is definitely an opportunity for people to come because the more time passes and tourism increases, and it will increase, the harder it will be to visit Israel, just individually or in a group.
Yeah, and no doubt, even on that note, it becomes more expensive. Honestly, it really, the expensive nature of going to Israel, it does depend on the time of year, but we're going to be there in March, which is late March, which is, again, the most beautiful time of the year for me. Things are still green, the flowers are out. I mean, it's really incredible. But I see in your screen behind you that reminds me of Tel Aviv, Jaffa. Is that where that is?
Yes. This is a picture of the old city of Jaffa. People might have heard of Jaffa in the Old Testament with the story of Jonah running away to Tarshish, trying to escape God's command to go to Nineveh and warn them. So this is the one of the most ancient seaports in the land of Israel. And obviously there's also a New Testament story here. This is one of the first places that we'll be visiting just upon arrival in Israel. And I think that it's not just the visit to Israel, but it's also listening to your teachings and to Dr. Larry Ollison's teachings in the different sites that we're going to be in. I mean, I'm sure that standing there in Jaffa and talking about the importance of this place biblically and hearing your insights and Dr. Ollison's insights it's just going to be overwhelming. And just think about it. It's going to be in every site that we visit. So people are going to come back home really blessed.
One of the things that I've been to Israel 7 times. I've been a tour leader many times as well. But my angle, coming from an archaeology background, is really I don't necessarily care to go to sites where there's tradition here, tradition there, and then I'm not faulting anybody. That's just not what I like. I like to go to the sites. I like to open the Bible. I like to say, here's the archaeology. This is what the text says, and there it is. And so it really does provide a level of historical accuracy. I mean, looking at Jaffa, if you look in Acts chapter 10, this is where Peter goes, and he's talking to Cornelius, this Gentile who was a God-fearer. He worshipped, the God of the Bible, but he was introduced to the message of Jesus at the time. And so these are real sites. I will say this too, that Israel is a very beautiful country. it's got God just put a little bit of everything in this little land. And so here we are. I love to see the sunset. One of the things that we're doing on this particular itinerary is we're coming in, people are going to get settled, and then you're going to be able to go and see the sunset, over the Mediterranean. I mean, it's stunningly beautiful.
Yes, and this is going to be a mandatory visit to the Mediterranean Sea. I mean, people are going to check into the hotel, and we're going to make everyone wear their swimsuits and go together into the Mediterranean Sea. But just kidding. It's not mandatory, but it's definitely going to be a very, very fun trip, and you're going to not just see the Bible and the biblical sites, but also see if you turn around, you see modern Tel Aviv. You see how prophecies are fulfilled, not just the past, but also the future. Yeah. And Tel Aviv is the first modern Hebrew city in the land of Israel that is part of the return of the Jewish people to the land of Israel, part of the redemptive plan, part of the end of times. This is you're looking at Jaffa, the past, and then you're looking back and you see Tel Aviv, the present and the future. And that's probably one of the themes that accompany us while we tour Israel. This multi-historical, dimensional view of the land of Israel.
Yeah, it's so incredible. And I mean, one of the things that we want to do here in this short program is kind of just give you an update on some of the places that we're going to see. Because so the next day after we land in Tel Aviv at the airport, we're going to just relax that evening, go there. If you want to get up with me early in the morning the next day, I'm going to go run on the beach, and which I've done before, which is really fun. And then we're going to head north along the coast, and we're going to head to really one of the most famous cities in all of really ancient times, and that is the city of Caesarea Maritima, which is a city that was built by Herod and adapted, and he was trying to show off. That's why it's called Caesarea. He did it in honor of the Caesar. But we see as well that this is a very important site because of a guy named Pontius Pilate.
Yes, and this is, again, we've been reading about this in the stories in the text of the New Testament, and we actually are standing in the place of the seat of the Roman ruler of the time in Israel at the time of Jesus. So this is definitely amazing, again, just to stand there and be there. But I think that when you're standing there, you really appreciate the architecture, the sophistication of the ancient peoples, in this case the Romans. And everybody says that Herod was the big builder of the land of Israel, and you can see that there and in Jerusalem and in Hebron and in so many places where Herod he built this magnificent cities and places. And so, when you're standing there and you're seeing the place where they had these chariot
races,
competitions, and you can imagine, you can look at that and imagine how it was really going on, but also just standing there and seeing the Mediterranean Sea and I think it's just it's an amazing atmosphere just being there.
Yeah, and so one of the great things about being in Israel and even on a day-to-day is you transition. You transition and you go back in time, you go forward in time. And so, I mean, here that same day, we're going to head up even more north to Carmel, which we find in the Old Testament in 1 Kings, verses chapter 17 and 18, where Elijah, there's a big monastery there. We're going to be up on top where you can see a great overview of the Jezreel Valley and Megiddo. And this is a place, again, where it says very clearly that Elijah is having this battle against the prophets of Baal, and you get to stand there and you go, wow. And so now we just jump back, 800 years in history to see some of this.
Right. And like you say, it's like this forward, backward transition. And when you stand there and you see Jezreel Valley, again, this is where we Bible believers have to look at and not just enjoy the scenery, but also try to imagine, Elijah standing there and mocking the priests of Baal, and bringing the fire from heavens to burn the sacrifice there. I mean, even the Arab name of that mountain is the Mukhaka, which means the place of the burning. This is how zealous the inhabitants of the land of Israel, be Jew or Christian, to the tradition of where these biblical stories happened. And there's a church there. So what we usually do is we enter the court, and we go up to a balcony with an amazing view of the Jezreel Valley. And again, it's not just Elijah; it's also the story of Deborah and Barak in the book of Judges fighting Sisera, the Canaanite general. So many things happen there, and you're there. You're actually there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so awesome. I was there. I made a mistake one time in one of our itineraries, and we showed up there on a Sunday, and that was a mistake because it was closed. And I was like, no way. And honestly, that particular church that's there, you go up again on the balcony, kind of a rooftop thing. And if you are up on that rooftop, you do not get a view. I mean, we went on a couple different places, and there's trees there, and it obscures all of the view of the valley. But when you're on top of that, so this time we're not going to make that mistake. I planned it very definitely. But the other thing too, that again, we talk about the 3D nature of being in the land of Israel with the Bible. And one of the next places we're going to is Nazareth. And Nazareth is a very modern, big Arab city. So there's not a lot to see there in the sense of historical. We think about Jesus being raised in Nazareth. But one of the places we are going there is called the Nazareth Village. And they have developed this village that looks, they've done every little detail to make it look like a first century village. And it's awesome. You walk in there, I mean, again, you're walking here, walking there, flowers, everything. I mean, it's a tremendous place where you look and you're feeling like you have truly been transported back in time.
It's a truly hands-on experience, and you get to see how Jews lived in the second period, how they made food, what food they ate, what were their professions, and everything is connected to the story of Jesus. This is truly a place to connect, not just mention the imagination at Mount Carmel. So here they make it easier for us to less imagine and more experience. And so this is definitely going to be an amazing experience in Nazareth Village. But just walking around the area and seeing the mountains of Nazareth, to imagine that this is where Jesus grew and this is where he walked, and there's the Mount of Precipice where he jumped from. This is all, it's there. It's just in front of you.
Yeah, it's so amazing. I mean, one of the things that often comes up naturally is, and I lean towards it, is how do we know this is the place? How do we know this is the exact place? And so sometimes it's hard to tell, there's a lot, but the next place we're going to is undoubtedly 100% accurate, and that is we're going to be going to the Sea of Galilee. And so there's been no doubt in the history of all archaeologists or scholars or historians, this is the Sea of Galilee. This is where Jesus put his center of his ministry. We're going to be going out on a boat ride, which is one of my favorite things to do, to get out on the water in the middle of the lake and to open up the text and to see that the disciples and Jesus were coming from this side to this side. They were throwing out, things to fish, and this is where Jesus walked on water. So you open it up and you're like, hey, where's that at? That's right here. There's no doubt when you come to this, and it's so exciting. Many of the boat rides, you'll be out there, you'll sing in worship songs, and it's a very real, the wind's blowing on your face. Again, 3-dimensional, 4-dimensional, however you want to say it, it's tremendous.
Right, and there's so many important sites as well on the shore of the Galilee Sea. Just to mention a few, Capernaum, and just the recently discovered city of Magdala, which is believed to be the place where Mary of Magdalene came from. and Beit Seida, and so many of these places that again are mentioned in the Gospels, and you're actually there and you're seeing them, and you're standing there where they stood. Jesus and the disciples, it's there. It's just there.
Yeah, it's so awesome. And so as we wrap up this particular video, the one of the places, the last kind of site, we're going to see all the cities, like you mentioned, Capernaum, which is Jesus' hometown. It says it there, and in the sense of where he did his ministry. But we're going to end that particular day going to what's called Yardenit, which is a baptismal site. And many people, if you haven't been baptized, it'll be a great opportunity for you to be baptized in the Jordan River, which is certainly the river that Jesus was baptized in. It flows right out of the southern part, the southwestern side of the Sea of Galilee. They've done a great job of making it really easy to get in there. And so again, if you're interested, I'll be one, myself and probably Dr. Allison, baptizing you if you're interested, or if you have somebody else that would like to baptize you. But the last time I was there, I baptized my daughter, and she had never been baptized yet. She was kind of holding out to be baptized in the Jordan River. My other daughter will be with us, and she wants to be baptized as well. So again, great times, not only learning and growing, but spiritually speaking, it's a great experience all the way around. And so Aaron, any final words on this video?
I think that we're finishing with the right point. That when you leave Israel, you become a different person.
Yes, that is well said. And so again, to remind you, again, price is very reasonable. And visit IsraelToday.com. You can go on there. You can see the itinerary that we're discussing, as well as we're going to be discussing in the next few videos. You can see about our Jordan extension. I tell people, if you're going to go all the way halfway across the world, you might not ever do it again. You might as well take the extension into Jordan. There's so much there. It's beautiful. We're going to be in Petra. We're going to see Mount Nebo, again, where Moses was. We're going to see a few other things. Petra by itself has some very prophetic significance as well in many ways. There's a lot to see there. But anyways, check it out. Visit Israel Today. Aaron, I appreciate you coming on today all the way from across the world and helping us kind of discuss this wonderful trip that we're planning.
Great to be with you. And again, waiting for everyone to come and to greet you at Ben Gurion Airport in the Holy Land.
And I'll just say, too, Aaron's going to be joining us on a couple sites there, giving us some inside information about some archaeology that's been happening with the lead tablet that we talked about in a different video. But anyways, appreciate you watching today. Keep on the lookout. Again, visit IsraelToday.com. Sign up soon, because we're filling up the bus, and we want to make sure that we keep it moving, because it's coming close. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.